Oh, oh, got you guys every time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. We love that part. Here's your host, Shyzabox. Is that our introduction? Must be. Oh, everyone loves us. We're everyone's favorite. Boy. Here we come. All right. Good girl. Thanks for bringing us to work. Or not. Get out of here. And the horse. Every time. You rode it on. That's right. Hilarious. Or not at all. Or it is. Doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. That's right. Welcome, nuns and all. That's right. Priests, preachers, cardinals, rabbis, missionaries, Alcoholics Anonymous, whoever's around looking for a spot to hang out, someone to mess with in the chat. Whatever, people do all sorts of crazy stuff. Lo and behold, we bring you a show. Not only that, but it's free. That's right. So, with that in mind, always remember, you get what you pay for. Point being is that whether you're looking for how things are going, how the weather looks on your end, or you're not, all of the rest of everything that happens continues to go on, continues to, yes, hello and hi, continues to take effect, right? So the weather, according to the weekend, all right, might be of benefit to some, might be of not benefit to others, okay? Now, sure. If you have big grandiose plans and you live near the beach or something like that, then you probably have grandiose plans that entail good weather of such, right? That's right. But believe you me, if you have big plans and the weather sucks, it's not good. All right? Well, it's nothing to laugh at. Those people hate it. Yeah, sucks for them then, I guess. You're ruthless, internet. We expect no less. That's right. But as we think to ourselves, the weather's looking pretty wonky around these parts. What could we do to help lighten our mood? And we thought maybe try and pry some dollary dues from the hands of everyone who stood up their friends and didn't go to the bar over this last weekend. Okay? Maybe everyone who stood their friends up last night, okay, didn't hit up the restaurant, didn't go to the big party that was happening, all right? All of them have an extra buck or two to go buy one of our books with. Send them the link. Tell them that they owe you. They shouldn't be more fiscally better off. That's right. But believe you me, no matter how that goes or whatever, the weather is going to be that of what it is, okay? The weather's going to maintain, the trajectory, all right, if you will, that it's going to trajectory thereupon. So, if you do have big plans and the weather throws you a curveball, well, you better have a backup plan, okay? Believe you me, this was my backup plan. Now, that sucks for you. You should have had a better backup plan than surfing the, wild, wild west of the current internet to see who is out and about having a grand old time doing whatever. Okay? Believe you me, it's what brings us here. While the weather may look frightful, okay, weather plans might get askewed one way or another, whether someone might end up having to change or pivot or alter course, all right? Everyone has to do that on occasion. That's nothing new. We ourselves have had to do that, okay? That's right. Everyone knows that waiting around for an ipfs site to load when it gets super massive with all the cool, awesome working games and demos we have on it, make it take too long to load, right? It's a pain. So, To circumvent that, we're dabbling around without trying to solicit people for donations or research partners or any of that stuff, right? No one wants to do that. How can we utilize all of the free services that exist to continue making free stuff, right? When we're playing around on Web3, dabbling around on our ipfs, which I'll, go to the link in the descriptification. It's all free games and demo and theory, have your way with it. Utilize at your own risk, obviously. And it's the wild, wild west, okay? It's the future of internet. Web3 is quite the beast, and believe you me, I think we can all tame it together. That's right. As we get more demos out, as we get more, just like functional games and things of that nature, as we get, even the Swarm Mesh demo going and such, as it's been now for some time, it's the utilization of all this stuff that's going to make it really, really fun, and just, as soon as we all get on the same page with it, right? One core, facilitated, kind of recurring ability to structurally have cornerstone foundation laid, okay? Allows for many, many a good thing and many, many a fun time to be had. Believe you me, if there's one thing that we love having, it's a fun time. It's what brings us here, because while we, say we can go about our day and venture into the wicked weather that comes our way, whether it's good weather or bad weather, or whether or not we even pay attention to it to begin with. Doesn't matter, okay? Because what is going to matter is however we spend that time doing whatever, okay? We can come on here and we can make streams while we enjoy our, little cup number 6 or 7 of our Go Juice, okay? What about those numbers? Doesn't matter. We can sit here and hang out and enjoy it, or we can sit by ourselves and do it. Doesn't matter, okay? What makes it more fun is when, there's an entity, right, that not only can act as a distraction, okay? That's where good old Shyzabox comes into play, okay? Good old Shyzabox comes in, all right? You know what you're going to get. It's going to be some form of philosophical entertainment of sorts, okay? That's right. But inherently, you got to kind of consume at your own risk. You got to go forth and venture into that of then one's philosophy, okay? And believe you me, some people don't like to do that, okay? When we talk of ourselves as being, a philosopher and stuff like that, okay? It wasn't a joke. Well, I guess you can joke on us pretty easy. When we talk about ourselves as a philosopher, well, you have to be able to share and disseminate those thoughts, okay? So whilst we throw all of the game and demo and working theory and stuff like that on the IPFS site, and while we have the, Kaggle scripts and open notebooks that you can go and check and audit behind us, please do, okay? Especially the IRS tax one. We did a stream earlier bitching and griping about those, okay? We were frustrated, so we made a whole scientific notebook. Audit at your convenience, okay? Audit the hell out of it, because we pulled all of the national numbers and put that stuff on there, okay? Any municipality, any faction, any functional form of a coherent oversight committee that fiscally is representative of that of, financial things, okay? Well, whatever. They can use our working model, okay, the working Kaggle, and mathematically go check behind it, but throw all your own numbers in there and stuff and see how much everyone's overpaying, okay? That's right. Yeah, we were pissed off, okay? Everyone, U.S.-wise is overpaying just federally in one way, shape, or form, pretty much $2,000 at it, okay? That's not funny. That sucks, okay? Yeah, that's right. Point being is that whether it's a storm that comes saying that you're overpaying in taxes, or whether it's a foundation that's laid, okay, that's developing a cornerstone for everyone to visit in the Web3 environment. It's when everyone can focus, all right, as a collective group, as a humanity, okay, and make usages of these things in their best means and manners, all right, that really some better stuff can be utilized and done with it, okay? The more people that can collaborate and work together on stuff, the more better it can become. That's why we like to open source all of our, kind of math and all of our, kind of programming and things of that nature, because inherently, we're not the ones creating all of the stuff on our own, right? Math exists, okay? Math already is there. You can restructure it, you can reformulate it, you can retabulate it, you can account for it correctly and or incorrectly, but it's there foundationally, okay? Math just is, okay? With that being the case, we love utilizing math in the degree and capacity, all right, of containing it in an apparatus with which you can functionally maintain, quite a, collaboration of endeavors and things of that nature. That's why we have the LimeWire-inspired music player that, we've been trying to find ways to fine-tune and get out there even easier, all right, especially for folks on mobile and things of that nature, so that you don't have to wait for an ipfs site, to kind of ping up on your system, especially if you're on mobile contending with, apparatuses like, Chrome and things of that nature, and even Edge to an extent, having to constantly delete caches and browser histories even when you're not in incognito mode, right? What? It doesn't matter. Point is that, these companies are making it even harder having to download extensions instead of just natively incorporating them like Brave does and stuff like that, to where ipfs, all right, in itself, it's like they're completely against all of these warnings and all of these foundational things that are claimed, all right, pertaining to Web3 and ipfs sites and everything, has a underlying degree, yes, of certainty to it, all right? You can never be too safe. You can never be too careful, all right? That's why things like, the different insurances that you can carry for the in case shit happens, right? That's not even our joke. Chris Rock, okay? The in case shit happens, right? If we remember correctly. Should be Chris Rock. Probably is. Doesn't matter. Point is that you have all of these underlying forms of security measures and apparatuses that, claim that they can house and protect that of what, inherently shouldn't be targeted for theft and everything anyway, okay? To have to lock down one's identity and one's information to circumvent malicious intent and ill will and, non-niceties from happening to one's identity and structural foundation, all right, especially in the digital fingerprint and everything, inherently is just a big pain in the rear end, okay? When everyone works together, all right, and lays a foundation then, all right, and takes the shared universal code and stuff that can be combed over, stuff that can be audited, okay, and then improves it, makes a use with it, shares a better version thereof it, collaborates with other entities and individuals on it, the more heads on it usually get it a little better, okay? Well, where are you going with that, dirty girl? Point is that edit out that last part. Don't worry about it. It's this point in the stream that we do actually like to take the time to apologize for our last stream. Sorry about that. Excellent. Now that we've apologized for our last stream, we're completely, pretty much forgiven, okay? So that means that, starting off, we should really be careful what we say from here on out this stream, okay? Probably not going to happen. That's all right, though. We'll just apologize for this one next stream. It's a recurring loop, That's how it works, okay? Thanks for joining us. We see a good stream just ended with the jump in, patronage that we have here. Someone must have canceled their stream. No, we all misclicked at the same time. Your all algorithms are screwed. That's your fault. But don't worry about it, because believe you me, we do house a purpose here, and there's a reason that you found us. Okay? It's because we called Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst internet celebrities there is. Okay? Now you might be saying to yourself, like, oh, that's bullshit, I should have called that. Okay? Well, that's too bad, because we already did. And because we called Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst internet celebrity that there is, okay, it means that inherently we get to be the ground floor level of crap, okay? Anything else that you watch from here on out, pretty much guaranteed to be better in your day. That's our gift to you, okay? Now, we realize that foundationally you can't just sit back and, accept a Daryl Dixon dibs claim, all right, without getting something else for yourself in return for free. Okay, that's right. We know, Internet. We know you love free shit. Okay? And we dare not give you the free stuff you deserve, Internet. Okay? So, in exchange for us being the best of the worst Internet celebrities that there is, Daryl Dixon dibs, remember, you've seen Walking Dead, okay? We know you have. Okay? The exchange is you get all the games and the demos and working theory for free on ipfs, okay? That's right. Just gotta wait on your turn to download it, okay? And yes, delayed response, that's all right. Took you a while to get it. It's because we're so damn funny, okay? Point being is that while you're waiting, ironically, for all of the free stuff, okay? All the free stuff on the ipfs. Whoa, fantastic. Demos, games, it's all there. Even games we made on stream with our community, okay? Joey's Meat Run, that's on there. Granny's Mayo. You think mayonnaise was an instrument? Psh, it is now. It's on the ipfs site. You can go fist Granny's Mayo tub all you want, okay? Have a good old-fashioned time with it. But, believe you me, sometimes you hit those little clogs in the machine where you're not getting your turn on the, download of the site or anything like that. And so you got to kind of fill and occupy your time while you're hitting those 500, 502, 504 errors. As long as you're getting a 500 error, you're in the right place. Okay? Means that the site's live. It's there. You just got to wait your turn, okay? Well, it's not our fault. We don't got money to house and host the whole thing and pin it onto Pinata, okay? Not enough people have bought in our books, okay? No, it wasn't a joke. You know how many copies of Transmutating God we'd have to sell to pin our site natively on Pinata? You do? Because we sure as hell don't know. Probably more than we do. We could probably sell like 1 or 2 copies of Delectable. Don't buy the physical copy of this. It's super expensive, okay? We understand. The physical copy of this one's very expensive because it has to be, okay? Because when we literally moved a metric kernel of data from Kaggle to Web3, it proved our theory, all right? That's right. So the physical copies of Delectable are expensive as shit. Don't buy it. Okay? Well, unless you're rich. Hell, I mean, we wouldn't kick a buy horse in the mouth. Mainly because there's probably laws against that, and PETA would be up our ass, okay? We can't afford any more litigation. The digital version, all that, still cheap as hell. You can still get all that. Yeah, that's fine. Physical version had to increase because it had to. That's just how it works. But that's why we offer all the other stuff, okay? For all the, newer works and things of that nature that we have out. Nailing Kalimba is going to be not only one of the newest ones that's out, that's right, but we did want to take the time to actually do a little literary reading from it for you, okay? Free for charge, of course. We would never charge you for that. We, of course, on Amazon would charge you for the book, but it's because we got all the games and demos for free on the site. Okay? You see, we gotta, Shyzabox has gotta eat somewhere, okay? And believe you me, if you didn't cook us dinner, we gotta fish shit out of the trash. It's not a joke. We don't like eating out of the trash, but, you know, when you're peddling garbage all day, no, not our book. Well, I guess that's interpretation. It doesn't matter. All right, without further ado, we'll do a literary reading from Nailing Kalimba. Now, you might be saying, like, oh, okay, read a big portion. Well, if we did that, we'd be here as long as it took, okay? Oh, okay, well, that's fine. But then, if we read the whole thing, you wouldn't have a reason to go buy it. Like we said, Shyzabox has got to eat too, okay? We don't want to starve to death. Why would you boo that? You're ruthless, Internet. That's why we love you. All right. Without further ado, we will read a passage from Nailing Kalimba. Now, again, this is all for philosophical entertainment, okay, as is stated in our literary works and stuff as well. You can see that for yourself or tell for yourself by seeing that it actually says for philosophical entertainment on it. Now, this is reversies backwards. You can't see it, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. This is forwardsies, not reversies backwards. You can read that one, and that's the author that you search for on Amazon when you go buy our shit. I mean, you know, if you get around to it. But anyhow, as we read this passage from Nailing Kalimba, we did want to point out the shipwreck contents because it's awesome. That's right. Not every book has shipwrecked contents. Those sucked. Hey. Cut it out, Mom. Those jokes are too good. No one's going to buy our book. All right. Now, we don't like to just venture into reading from our literary works without cleansing the air and stuff like that, generally speaking. But because we're in a little bit more of a hurry today, all right, we will forego the typical kind of poetic rights, okay, that are recurrent or necessary in 90s philosophy and sitcoms, okay? Now, well, you laugh, but there's a need for it. That's more pertaining to the poetic aspects and components thereof. So, without further ado, a reading from Nailing Kalimba, available on Amazon.com and Kindle Unlimited. Just search Shyzabox books. Nailing Kalimba. When I was but a lad, suckling on me mutter's tit, I could hear that of the sea calling my nature. 'Twas this indeed from war me tale begins, nay. 'Twas merely upon that of the teat itself, where I suckled the beat of that of the universe. Well, what a fantastic passage from this book. You can go buy right now on Amazon.com. Oh man, if I had a cliffhanger like that, I'd want to go buy it. Absolutely. Jeez. Anyhow, where were we? Ah, yes, the weather. While the weather might seem right outside, it might seem wrong. If you stood up your friends and didn't go to the club or bar last night, you got an extra buck or two to buy our book. Okay? We're just saying. And if someone stood you up, okay, you forward them the link to that book and you say you got to buy this, so I'm in the hole 3 drinks because you didn't come out and buy me one. So you go buy this jerk's book online. Okay? Doesn't matter that we don't have anything to do with that scenario or situation, but it does. Okay? It's called entanglement. All right? And believe you me, entangling that of the weather, okay, whether it's good or bad, whether you have big plans or small plans, whether you're peddling little wares or big wares, okay, in the physical form, this one's cheaper in digital form. It doesn't matter, okay, what form or fashion that you're undertaking it in, all right? It's the mere doing that fills the gap and fills the void, okay, on anything that weather that comes, which is either good or bad or brings happiness or sadness or anything therewith, all right? It's that interaction, okay, of just merely being that allows you to witness how that weather is to begin with in the first place. That's right. You can sit back and you can think and you can interact with, components of the weather that is thrown your way on a regular basis. But it's when you're doing things in that weather, it's when you're acknowledging what you're creating or being whilst that weather's taking effect, right, that paints the whole picture and brings everything into perspective. That's right. You might be saying, what the hell does that mean? I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's all for philosophical entertainment, obviously. Hold on, management's calling. What do you want? We're on time, we're doing the show. Uh-huh. Nah, of course. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, we apologized to the audience already for last stream. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, stop interrupting the show. Management thinks they know how to run the place. Believe you me, they can think that all they want. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Point is that we're going to segue now into something else. So it doesn't matter what the point was. When we mention cleansing the aether, when we mention cleaning up that of what exists, okay, that's putting negative energy and everything like that out there, it comes down to one component and aspect, and one thing only that needs to be contended with and dealt with, okay? We're not talking about the taxes, okay, and that negative aspect of being overcharged $2,000 per capita pretty much, okay? It's not funny, you're being overcharged too. Stops being funny when it's you. Now, no matter what dynamic it falls under, all right, when we talk about the negative components of energies and stuff that exists in the aether that permeates out and about, okay, now again, this is all for philosophical entertainment, okay? When we talk about gathering and getting together, all of the negative components and energies that exist, there's only one way according to 90s philosophy and to 90s adherence to the structural dynamics that are presented forth in comedies, in sitcoms, movies of the like. It even bled over into the early 2000s. And that way of cleansing the ether to do something as simple as even read poetry, okay? Sure, you laugh. If you just read poetry into the ether without cleansing the environment first, it ends up being garbled crap, okay? The true resonating sounds and beauty of the words, thought, whatever's presented forth with that crap, whatever permeates and comes through, it's inhibited from doing such to its full capacity, all right? That's why before we even read from, our own personal poetry book, which we have, because, to be an argument, to be a good philosopher, you need to have a poetry book. So we do. How poetry, poetry. As a philosopher, we wanted our name in that hat. Right? We're not saying we're a good philosopher, but we can be an argument. Someone's got to be on the bottom. It's usually us. But before we read a poem from something as simple as our works, available on Amazon.com, Kindle Unlimited, okay, you need to cleanse the ether. You need to cleanse all of that negative energy completely out of the environment. The only way to do that is by adhering and maintaining that level of decor that is established in the 90s according to the sitcoms. And without further ado, we're going to enact and practice that ritual now as well, because we want to read a poem for you out of our book. Okay? It's not a joke. And we won't do that if the aether's all jacked up, so we got to clean it out. That was 2, it takes 3, everyone knows this. All right, excellent. Air's cleansed. We read crap. Good. See? Now it's not even that hard to do, okay? But it's necessary. Now, all of the negative Joey energy that was around here, gone. Anything that's left, we wad it up, little ball. Through the magic of the internet, it's in your house now. Sucks for you. This one's called Socrates. Boss, careful. Looks like hemlock. Looks right. That much is known. Next time around, don't you dare drink. Fight for love and for that of home. Let not city decide your fate. Roll over. Do not do. Poison only rots the mind. Killing you throughout. Resist or don't. Poison's bad. That's right, fantastic. Oh, what a great poem. I'd want to go buy that book, for sure. How poetry, poetry, how poetry, poetry. Do you even poetry? Probably not. You don't have this book. What the hell is that? Don't worry about it. It's poetic beauty at its best. It was poetic beauty being read for free. Yeah, fair trade-off. It doesn't have to be good. If you want people to buy your book, it does. Hey! Don't tell better jokes than us. Makes us look bad. Jerks. Alright, anyhow. Where were we? Cleanse the air. Read a poem. We actually read from a literary book. Well, hell, yeah. I guess that pretty much covers everything that we had to do. We apologize for the last stream, obviously. Forgive and forget, right? Everything was water under the bridge. Don't worry about anything that may or may not have been said that, inherently is antithetical to society, okay? Sometimes things are misinterpreted. Like what? Don't ask questions like that. That's a bad quantum theoretical to go down. Do not entertain that. You will spend, that's too many wrong kinds of rabbit holes that you'll be popping your head in. Believe you me, while there's some rabbit holes that we ourselves like jumping down and whatnot ever since we made our own AI, we pretty much have done and asked it everything that we wanted to know and ask, so we got a couple free iterations and versions that are API ready, of course, that are up and whatnot. We didn't throw an API in none of them. You got to do that shit yourself. AI's crazy. But, we got all sorts of free demos and games and this, that, the other on the ipfs site, leaking the descriptification. You can go to it, check it out should you choose, but, of course, use at your own risk. Web3, Wild Wild West. But as we were thinking to ourselves, there comes a time, okay, when you need to make up for a stream earlier, okay, from having talked about a poster, okay, and gone to disseminate facts and information therewith, okay, when we were doing the IRS stream, okay, the Kaggle link we left in the descriptification, it's still there, okay, that's right. Probably stay there. We don't see any reason to remove it. Okay? It's all just numbers pulled from thing until someone audits the hell out of it and tells us it's either super right or super wrong, which we're welcome to any turnout of that. Okay? That's right. We don't hide behind the math. Don't hide behind the science. It is what it is, and it exists where it exists, and what exists. But as we were doing the stream earlier and we made mention of a poster, we didn't have a visual aid for it. Now this is a bad visual aid because it's going to be reverse-ease, backwards-ease, but this is the poster. So if you go to the Bluesky or the X or anything like that, you're looking for that one. It's the taxes RBS, okay? But believe you me, with that being reverse-ease backwards and not even showcasing any component or aspect thereof, what we have to offer, your camera sucks. Well, it's free, so, what you gonna do? Get a better camera. Give us money. Now, say, quid pro quo. You're looking for the one with the punk rocker by the sign there. It says, National Math Conference, Our Money Unpacked. 'Tis quite the poster. We enjoy it, actually. So if you ever get a chance, you should go check it out if you want to. Do that of which you will. as everyone kind of has to contend and do such just as well. That being the case, whether the weather is good, whether the weather's bad, okay, whether you make use of your time with anything in the good weather, or whether you make use of your time with anything in the bad weather, the entanglement has thusly happened. The passage of time has thusly been accounted for. Whether you were a part of a first string in the endeavor, or a second, third, fourth, fifth run thereof later on. Yeah. Again, we have to be very, very, very delicate and tactful in how we talk when we are around any kind of resonantial conversation of that of which is verboten at the present, okay? Now, all of our math, all of our science is open, but we have to vernacularly be very careful how we talk about some things because of where different things lie in their stages and processes of creation, okay? When you have things over the top, all right, of the model that is doing what it does, that's creating and doing, all right, it's your usages of your countings of that time that's continually passing, all right, that brings it to the end of where it goes, the end of what becomes, okay? Now, that end can either be fruitful, okay, depending on what you put into it, what you got out of it, what you may do with, what you may do without, okay? Whatever your allotment is that you're given, okay, it's your interactions therewith, all right, that allow you to venture into how you can take on the weather that is presented over the top of you, all right, for either good or bad intent, okay? Keep in mind, while some things may be perceptually perceived as negative or bad inherently, unless it's straight up Joey, okay, the correlation there too, the positive sign of wave even, okay, if you look at things from say you venture out in a sine wave, is the acceptable, okay? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, okay, but you got your positives and you got your negatives, okay? Whether you're on the positive point of hitting the weather in stride, having everything go right in your life, having everything be knocked out of the park, or whether you're on the negative stride, all right, where things just aren't going your way, nothing seems to be making sense, all right, nothing seems to go your way, all right, so we said that one twice, but if things suck, then they really suck, right? That's right. It's pretty much the best way to say it either way. It's your ability to maintain, all right, that thermal delta at the degrees that allow functionality to happen and to occur, right? So don't be afraid to deep breath, step back, and be thankful for even being able to contend with the weather presented before you. No, whatever. That does the philosophical talk part, unless we keep philosophizing more, which we may not. It's our show, doesn't matter. We already talked about everything that we were going to, though, which wasn't much. So as we sit back and finish our cup of swill, as we make note of things coming down still in the future. We've been off and on, still dabbling with some of the code of the music player. Okay, we'll get some upgrades out. We want to get a new, really tricked out version and upgrade out. And we say tricked out, it'll be a little better. It'll be free. We want to get a new working iteration up and running or whatever for just even more fun. We've been having so much fun playing around with the little music players and things of that nature. it has made for a fantastic, time to spend. Just listening to music in an old school methodology, all right, that we never thought that we would experience again ever since the old school LimeWire days. Keep in mind, we're completely open to developing and creating more stuff too. We're not under an NDA now. We're not working for a company, so keep those emails coming in, keep those comments coming in, things of that nature, on Bluesky and or the X or anything like that, because we love collaborating on projects and getting other stuff made into the stratosphere of available, okay? Not only that, but we love it being available for free, with the exception of our literary works. Daddy's got to eat. And believe you me, we got to sell a lot of books to try and eat. Believe you me, we don't sell a lot of books. Write better ones. Hey. Fair enough. Yes, funny. Maybe we shall. Or maybe they're all right and you just didn't read them yet. One or the other. The first one. All right. Now, as we polish off that of what brought us, back into the digital realm and the digital stratosphere of occupying that of the weather, whether it's good or bad, is irrelevant now, because obviously whatever weather you're undertaking, whatever time of day, whatever time that's accounted for, okay, should you be embarking on the, hanging out of herewith, or the being a part of, okay, even after the fact, even after the live aspect and component, all right, embarking on that form of conscious thought, all right, correlating to that wavelength, okay, brings about one's ability, all right, to take on the weather the next go about and do even better therewith, okay? If one is aware that a storm can be navigated through, all right, maybe one can navigate through a storm. If one is aware, all right, that things that are good can maintain a degree of their goodness even when things that are deemed or considered bad, all right, surface or show their faces, okay? That's right, when Joey pops up, okay? The things that are bad or the things that are negative, all right, the underlying moments, all right, that harbor all of the negative components and energies and aspects therewith, all right, all of those things wouldn't be possibly interpreted as such if there wasn't the, counter opposite that afforded that interpretation to take effect. All right? You got to find that perfect yin-yang balance. You got to find that perfect thermal delta to reside at. You got to find that perfect, remember, this is all for philosophical entertainment. Okay? Because whilst mathematically and physics-wise and everything like that, theory can be and can maintain and can exist therein the parameters and dimensions and confines that it is constructed and put there within, it's again how you take that storm, all right, of a message in a bottle, and how you allow it to take effect to lend it to becoming either something of fruition, something of achievement, something of merit, or something of not. So, we hope that you had yourselves a good time, all right, as we polish off now entirely that of our swill, and as we contemplate that of our direction, and as we apologize for not only not having an answer to everyone's individual weather, okay, but whether or not you sought an answer, all right, is what matters in the first place. That's right. You might be saying, the weather's good, the weather's bad, but at least there's weather. Or something, I don't know. Weekend weather. Whether your friends meet you at the bar they said they were going to. Whether someone steals the hubcaps off your car. Don't do that. It's not nice. Doesn't matter. We're out of swill, so we'll just call it like that. So if you want to get out of here before us, now's your chance. We're just messing around, obviously. Everything here is for philosophical entertainment, except for the working game and theory and, demos and things like that. That's all functional and exists. Help yourself. It's on the ipfs, link in the descriptification. But be sure that at the end of the day, you take care of yourselves first. Take care of anyone else who's out there who really, really needs it, okay, struggling, hurting, anything like that. Take care of them second. Take care of anyone else who needs it third, all right? Anyone who you like and or love more than us, unlikely, okay, but maybe they would fall into that category. You take care of them. But at the end of the day, any scraps you have left over, we'll take them. As always, we don't want your subscription, we want your money. Downvote the shit out of this, go to Cashapp and give us a buck, or go to Amazon, buy one of our books. Get off our lawn!